Hi, Tom Childers. We're back. I wanted to talk about my little graph of ideologies and the next more exciting thing are the ideas that are in between these 6 points. Right here is monarchy. It's like a middle ground between dictatorships and orthodoxy, where it's basically the absolute power king, like Louis XIV. He has he's basically granted himself as, appointed from God, and so therefore he has like all of the religious church and authority behind him, but also whatever he says is now the law from God. But at least he has God to stand in front of, like as a basis. But the other way is the greatest, most evil threat of all of mankind. That's communism. Communism is not like socialism or commune-style living. What it is a combination of a brutal dictatorship and the people that he nominates into power, where everything is on the table to be turned over, to be savaged, and to be destroyed. And communism doesn't really last very long, but it lasts longer the more that it like creates systems that either good leaders like Gorbachev, or good like elites that push towards other like forces. And so like China, like Russia went this way, and then China went this way towards civil society. It's a long way, but it's like hard, but there's like different routes you can go. Anyway, the space between elitism
and Cyber Monday.
You betcha.
Small Biz Saturday.
Ooh-wee.
And of course, Sell Your Sunday.
Wait, sell your Sunday?
It's a made-up day from Mercari.
Who?
Mercari, the selling app that makes selling your stuff super easy. Really? Yeah, you just take a few pics on your phone, upload to millions of buyers, and as soon as it sells, bam! Mercari emails you a shipping label, and you get paid.
Wow, an app that makes you money.
Yeah, sell it, ship it, get paid.
Every day should be sell your Sunday.
Download Mercari so you can sell your stuff today.
The best DNA kit on the market just got better with 23andMe's new Ancestry Plus Traits Kit. Dig deeper into your ancestry with more than 1,500 geographic regions. It's the most comprehensive ancestry breakdown on the market. You don't have to be a genealogist to start building your family tree. 23andMe's new automatic family tree builder uses your DNA to start your tree. Plus, you get more than 30 trait reports for free. Tap now and buy your 23andMe Ancestry Plus Traits Kit today. $79 for a limited time.
Well, what in the world could possibly be in between anarchy, which is like popular protests, and anonymous and libertarians, and elitism, which is a technocracy, it's basically the swamp. It's academia. It's an oligarchy. The space in between here is it's actually a really fun space. It's the dystopian nihilism of the setting of V for Vendetta, of Demolition Man. Tristan Tate was just talking about that. And the thing about nihilism is that the person, each of us, there has no culture to attach to. We have no ability to control our own lives because mostly we don't want to anyway. But also the system makes it so that we can't understand why we're doing what we're doing, and it's all perverted. And you know, we have like tranny daycare sessions, you know, reading hour, and just like things that we have no idea why we do them, and it makes it so that we don't even really care at all. And so then we call each other Z and Zer, and we pretend that retarded people are smarter than us, and that we shouldn't say retarded because they're smarter than us, I think. I don't know exactly, but we have a lot of this going on. This is like heavy. This is our fate. And but there's a chance out of there. Like there's ways, and we'll get into that another time. But I'm gonna keep moving on. So there's like anarchy and localism. Right in between anarchy and localism is independence. And so if you have a state within a nation that wants to break up, like there's a term, balkanization, referencing like Yugoslavia breaking up over in Eastern Europe. But there's a long tradition of modern nation states that want to separate from their state. Like in Spain, the Basque region and in the central north near France was a very industrialized region, and they wanted to break away from the government that was confiscating their wealth and distributing it and paying for like social services for the rest of the nation, who, you know, siested all day. And so they didn't think that was very fair. They were like, all right, we need to, you know, separate. And, you know, like Northern Ireland, you know, wants to separate from the United Kingdom in the same way. And Alberta right now wants to separate from America. Now, California is a little different. We want California to get separated from us. That's like a little bit of a reversal. But sort of like these kind of ideas they're not as strict as you would like them to be. Like things are much more they're ideas, they're like loose ideas and patterns they're just like helpful ways to understand different ideas. So there's the idea between orthodoxy and civil society. There's like a couple of words in there that fit in there, and I think the best one is to bear in mind that what I'm trying to do is break away from liberal and conservative, left and right, and actually describe what people actually think and what their ideology is. Instead of saying that left is right and everybody else is alt-right. And that's like a trick that they've been trying to pull for a long time, and I want to stop it for sure. Like, done. And I'm not sure exactly how we're going to be able to interpret this or use it like linguistically, but as far as conceptually, this is what we need to do. So this is actually TradCons. That is the internet like pill or whatever like group that is best described for traditional conservative or American conservative. the idea of like the stable and how things had been, without a particular concern with changing the nature of cultural institutions, but more restoring the ones that are and not changing them. Because what ends up happening is that the model of orthodoxy ends up developing over time. And so things that are changed then become the way things are. And so when you have people that protect, that stand for the rule of law, they find themselves actually standing for the laws that are unjust, that have caused us grief.